What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Let me know in the comments down below if the camera is working. I'm trying a bit of a different camera than we did earlier. I just want to see if it works because it is much better quality. So let me know if that does work. If not, well, then we could always switch it back. But let me know in the comments, in the chat, if it is working. We got a lot of stuff to go over. In the meantime, I want to also check it on my end to see if it is working, because this is the first time we're doing it. So let's check it out. Okay, looks pretty good. It looks like it might be a little laggy, but let's get right into it. So right now, AMC's price is sitting at $56.97 per share. We had a lot going on today. At one point we ended up we were in the green. Another point we ended up in the red. A lot was going on between new reports from AMC CEO coming out to short seller reports to a couple of other things. So first off, let's talk about what is going on right now with AMC CEO. So earlier today, their CEO came out and said how basically he said not to buy AMC's stock. And that's a pretty big deal, because he said right here, Thursday morning, the company filed, they sold this. We've talked about this multiple times today, but he sold 11.5 million shares at the price this morning. So it was around $60 per share. That means they made, about $700 million from from selling stock. This is a big deal because they have been struggling. They have a lot of debt that they need to pay down, and this is just very important. It's going to help them out long term. And something I'm excited about, because you want all of these, you want them to do well long term. You don't want them just to pump up right now and then drop off significantly. In addition to this, one thing to keep in mind, though, is in this report where he was talking about what was going on with the stock, how they issued more shares, is he said, basically, do not buy our stock right now. That's what this article says, but essentially he just had a warning. He said, we believe that the recent volatility in our current market price reflects market and trading dynamics unrelated to our underlying business or macro industry fundamentals. We do not know how long these dynamics will last. Basically, what they're saying is the current price of AMC has nothing to do with the fundamentals, which we all know. We all know this is the short squeeze, but the short squeeze hasn't even started yet. So that's what's going on right now. So he said, basically he just said what everyone already knows, that, the price right now doesn't represent the actual business. If you look at the revenues, you look at the numbers, you look at the forecast, doesn't really represent what's going on. We know this, but he said, understand, we caution you against investing in our Class A common stock unless you are prepared to incur the risk of losing all or a substantial portion of your investment. That is what he said. So that's just something to keep in mind moving forward, because even though we all know what is going on with AMC, we all know what's going on with the price right now. So even though we know what is going on, it looks like I'm having a bit of an issue with that right screen, but like I said, first time doing this new format with the new camera, so we'll get those fixed out for next time. But either way, what we do know is that AMC's price right now, going into closing, we have about 25 minutes. The price right now is at $55 per share, and it has at least bounced back significantly from where it was earlier today. When the market opened, we talked about this. We explained how even though we might see a 50% drop off during the day, it can easily come back, easily go all the way back up to where it was when it first opened. We talked about this because you just got to remember that with these stocks, the only way to predict what's going to happen in the future is to look at what's happened in the past, and specifically with GameStop. When we look at GameStop, look at what happened in the past with GameStop. What you do is you got to look at, well, what happened after GameStop had their short squeeze? Did the price drop? Did it reach new lows? What happened? Well, we saw it after the first day when it had its short squeeze, went from about $10 per share all the way up to $483. Like a 50x return, basically overnight, in like 2 or 3 trade, like in a matter of a week. After that, we had a couple of red candlesticks in a row, where then it dropped down to $38.50 per share. The people who sold off here because they were scared, well, then they ended up losing all of their money. They didn't end up with the returns that everyone else had, and that's because, well, they thought it was never going to recover. But again, you got to remember, after it had the massive run-up, it didn't go back to the lows it was at before. Before this initial run-up, it was at $12 per share, dropped down. After it dropped down, it was at $30 a share. Same thing happened. We had another run-up here, and then when it leveled off, it dropped back down from 348 down to about 150, another 50% drop-off. But we found new lows and a new support at around 140. Same thing again. So what you can do with AMC is look at what's happening right now. Well, we have seen this happen multiple times. When the short squeeze first started back here, we were at $1.91 per share. And now, like back in January, we went up to $20.36 per share. After that, we dropped back down to $5. So anyone who thought, oh, 20, we're going to lose our money, I'm just going to cut my losses, well, they might have sold for a 50, 60% loss when it went from 20 down to 5. But then again, we started going back up. We reached 14, and then we found a new support at around $8. So every time we have seen this run up, you see it spike up, then it consolidates back down at a different price, like at a higher price than it was at before. And then you see another spike and it consolidates again. And that's what we're seeing with all of these meme stocks. Is it necessarily going to happen again this time? You can't say for sure, but all we can do is look at the past and say, okay, we've seen a massive spike. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 or 6 days in a row with green candlesticks. Essentially meaning that, okay, this run, we might see it cool off for a bit now. We might see it consolidate. If we see a red day, that can mean we're seeing a consolidation happening. If we see a green day today and we finish in the green, well, then maybe we're going to have a couple more days in the green before it goes up. That's just looking at the charts. But the one thing to look at and keep in mind right now is look at AMC, their short interest. And right now, AMC's short interest, like we talked about earlier, AMC shorts are holding very strong. They are actually adding to their positions, and they're not backing down. Previously, they had decided to cover their positions back in January. They lost billions of dollars. This time, they're not doing that. And you can see right here, it explains how AMC shorts are hanging tight during this epic rally in a break from what they did in January. Essentially, what they're talking about is right now, we're seeing AMC's price, we're seeing short sellers not do what they did in January. In January, we saw a bunch of investment banks lose billions and billions of dollars, and they had to be bailed out essentially with GameStop. We're not seeing that happen now in the sense that short sellers are continuing to add to their positions, and actually what's happening is we're seeing, for example, AMC short interest here is continuing to go up. We've talked about this multiple times throughout the day, but again, the key thing that we're going to want to keep an eye out for over the next into the evening tonight is we're going to want to see what happens with this short volume. Does it increase? Does it decrease? What is going on there? Because what's important is that right now we're still seeing the short interest increase, which means short sellers are continuing to bet against AMC, which means the short squeeze has not happened yet. It has not happened. So that is a good sign, because if they keep adding to their positions and they keep shorting AMC, that means every single dollar that AMC's price goes up, every penny it goes up, they're losing, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. And that's when we would see a short squeeze happen. Because right now what we're seeing isn't the short squeeze, because a short squeeze would be when this short volume goes from, let's say, 160 down to 50 overnight, when the short interest in a stock drops significantly. And we're not seeing that happen, because just the other day we were at, you could see right here, the short interest on Tuesday was at 20%. After the end of the day, Wednesday, it was below 19, but it finished off after Wednesday at 21%. So 21% was shorted right now. So that's a pretty high percentage. We're not seeing it cool down. We're not seeing short sellers back off. And that is something that we're going to want to keep an eye out on moving into, after hours today, seeing when the data comes out, has that number changed? Because that's going to be the most important thing for you, those of you wondering, has the short squeeze already happened? Well, that's going to be what we need to see. That's going to be what we need to see happening moving forward. I'm looking at the chat right now, 1 to 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay, so, and if you are new here, like I've said in previous videos, YouTube does not recommend my videos on AMC, Dogecoin, on meme stocks and meme coins. So please be sure to like the video and let me know in the chat. Put something in the chat to let me know you guys are here, because the only way we're going to get this out to more people is commenting, liking, and so let's try and get this up to like 50 likes. See if we can get more people coming into the chat. But slowly but surely we're increasing. But anyways, moving into the rest of the day, let's take a look at a couple of other stocks that have seen a short squeeze. Everyone was asking, what other stocks are ready to see a short squeeze, have similar data to what's going on with AMC. A couple of them that I want to go over. Let's switch the screen up a bit. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this, and get rid of this, and let's just extend these out. Okay, so let's look at a couple of other stocks. So you see GameStop right here. First of all, these charts look nearly identical. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. These charts look nearly identical when you're looking at them. But anyways, other stocks that we're seeing have these short squeezes are stocks like GameStop, stocks like Workhorse, which people aren't talking about as much. Let's pull Workhorse up. And Workhorse today was actually up. Workhorse is up 30% for the day, and this is because with Workhorse, we're seeing the short position in Workhorse be even higher than it is in AMC, which is a pretty big deal. Right now, the short position in Workhorse is sitting right around 25-30%, similar to what it is in AMC. If you guys are new here, make sure to like the video. If you guys don't follow me on Public Investing app, make sure to follow me on Public Investing. I talk about stocks I'm buying, stocks I'm selling, things like that. So make sure to check that out. It is something that I personally love the app. They don't sponsor this at all. It's just something that I do like. I do talk about a lot on there. Think of it like a Patreon, but like you don't have to pay for it. It's just free. Anyways, though, we're seeing a lot of movement going into after hours. We have about 15 minutes until the end of the day today. And once we do see trading end, those of you who don't know, I was getting questions yesterday asking about, well, what's happening with after hours? Why can people still trade after hours? If you have like a platform like Webull, even on Robinhood, a lot of these platforms you can buy and sell shares after hours. So something just to keep an eye out on is because even if you don't have access to it, other people can still buy, sell, trade during after hours pre-market. Webull is one of the platforms that I do use that for. Someone's saying, what's the prediction for market close? Like I said, there's no way of knowing. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with the short interest later today. And that's going to be really important to see what is going on there. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. But something that's going to be really important to keep an eye out on, because if we see the short interest decrease, well, then that's a sign maybe you want to take some profits off the table. Again, like I've said multiple times, if you have made a lot of money with AMC, it could be just, never hurts to take some profits. Right now, if you see on the top right of the screen, 564 million was the volume for today. Probably going to finish right around 600 million. Carlos said, huge fan, thank you. Do you think the squeeze will happen? So yeah, right now, The squeeze has not happened yet, because the squeeze will only happen, like when they say short squeeze, that's when this short interest that we see right here is going to basically be cut in half. Like, short volume right now is 21%. When the short squeeze happens, that's when all of these short sellers are going to have to cover their positions, because right now they're continuing to bet against AMC. They're continuing to say, look, AMC's not going to do well, and we're going to bet against it. We're going to short it. And even though the price is going up and they're losing a lot of money, they're saying at some point it's going to crash. That's what these short sellers are thinking. And the reason what's a short squeeze is when they're all going to have to, they're losing a lot of money, and they just have to cover their position too, because they can't pay back whatever they've borrowed by shorting the shares. So right now we have not yet seen the short squeeze. Today we definitely didn't see it, because if we saw it today, that's when the price would have increased, doubled again today. We're not seeing that though. So it'll be interesting to see what this short volume is, what this short volume ratio is after hours today. But yes, for those of you who are new, there was a report that came out earlier. A lot of the negative stuff with AMC today has to do with these 11.5 million shares that the CEO did sell. He didn't sell them, but the company sold them earlier today. And the CEO came out and explained how, basically saying, if you invest in AMC, you have to be prepared to lose all your money. So that wasn't really the best thing to say. But so a lot of the reason why we're seeing the stock price down today, also in addition to just seeing that massive run up yesterday, so all of that's contributing to what we're seeing with AMC and the price movements today. Looks like, though, we do have a bit of a support right here. A bit of a support. Not much, but it looks like we're starting to try to form a support there. Earlier when we came on, we talked about how there was no support at all the way down to $42 a share. But it looks like, we've touched it, this support line here. So it looks like we've touched it like 3 times, and we're bouncing off of it right now. So that is, hopefully, we'll see us close in the green. If we could close in the green today, that would be really good. We opened up at, it says the open was $57.99, but really, so if we get, I believe at $62, $63 a share, then we'd be in the green for the day. Something interesting right here, this article. Let's pull this up. We'll just copy and paste this. But Benzinga, new article that explains how right now how much shorts have lost this year from AMC and GameStop. This is crazy. So it says right here that AMC and GameStop short sellers have taken a $12 billion loss in 2021. That's insane. Insane. On Wednesday, yesterday alone, AMC short sellers lost $2.77 billion, according to S3 Partners. And in the last 2 days, they've lost $3.3 billion. And in the last week, $4.5 billion lost from AMC. Like, that's what institutions lost from trying to short AMC over the last couple of days. That's absolutely insane. Someone's asking what other stocks will see a short squeeze. So the way to look at that is you just look at what is going on with, the best way to look at that is to look at what is going on with the short interest. What stocks have high short interest, and a couple of them are, which we have gone over in previous videos, but I'm going to pull them up for you guys. AMC short, it's on Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha short stocks. Let's look at this. Is this it? Not that one. I'm pulling up. You guys can look with what I'm doing. So this article talks a little bit about Workhorse, a little bit about Clover Health, Blink Charging, Acromoto. All of these do have high short positions, but there was a better article that I'm trying to find. We'll just look up AMC. Let's look at what analysts are saying here about AMC. Every single person is essentially bearish. This one could be interesting. They're saying a gamma squeeze. That's what's essentially happening right now. It's not a short squeeze, because the short squeeze is when short sellers have to cover their positions, and we're not seeing that happen. We're seeing them continue to short AMC. But I'm trying to find the one for someone asked about other stocks that are similar to AMC in terms of having a short squeeze. Here are them. So these are the stocks. This is a pretty good list. Like, I've looked into all of these. This is a pretty good list for which stocks are being shorted right now. If you missed out on AMC or looking for other stocks, this is a good list to find what is going on. If I would tell you, how to find which stocks, you just go on Google, you search stocks with high short interest, and it'll come up with a list. It'll either bring you the NASDAQ or bring you the New York Stock Exchange. It'll come up with a list, and that's what's going on right now. You're seeing like Plug Power, NanoX Imaging, Workhorse, Nikola, Cost, Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry. All of these have very high short interests, and because of that, they are like prime stocks to see a short squeeze and just increase dramatically if short sellers have to sell off their positions. We're about 8 minutes into close now, so I want to keep these charts on here. Someone asked about Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry, so let's first pull these up. Bed Bath & Beyond is just getting killed right now. During trading today, it did reach a high, very similar to what happened with AMC. Peaked out around 2 p.m. Eastern time. Ever since then, we've seen it drop from 36 all the way down to 32. The swings in Bed Bath & Beyond are not nearly as much. Let's look at BlackBerry. They're all going to have the exact same like charts. They're going to follow the exact same patterns. So yeah, you guys are seeing Bed Bath & Beyond from to about 2 p.m. all the way to now. Consistent drop, 36 all the way down to 32. Same with what's going on with BlackBerry. Very similar charts at 2 p.m. Sort of topped out right there. Not as a significant of a drop, but it went from $17 a share all the way down to $15. All of these. BlackBerry is in the green for today, though, so that is good. Like, it did open up much higher, but still for the day, it says it's up 3.38%. AMC is one that is taking a big hit. I want to keep it on here, though. But like I said earlier in the stream, for those of you who are new here, the best way to predict what's going to happen in the future with AMC is to look at what happened in the past with GameStop, because it's following very similar to what GameStop did back in January. And if you are new, make sure to like the stream. YouTube doesn't like pushing these videos out whenever I talk about meme stocks, meme coins. For some reason, they banned my entire YouTube channel when I did a video on it. So it would help me out a lot if you guys could like this. Someone asked about Shiba Inu. This is definitely a meme stock, meme coin, Shiba Inu. There's actually a petition on change.org saying that Shiba Inu should be listed on Robinhood, and it is, I believe, one of the most popular petition right now on change.org. I want to pull this up for you guys. Here we go. Petition for Robinhood to list Shiba Inu crypto among change.org's most popular. 150,000 signatures is the goal. They said within the last week it has about 86,000. Can we see the petition right here? That's not the petition. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that. Just a couple minutes more until the market closes. Is a lot going on, though, here. And if you guys are new, make sure to check me out on Public. Follow me on Public Investing. Not sponsored, but it is an app where I talk a lot about what is going on, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, things like that. So just check out my profile there. Completely free. And let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat. Throw them in the chat. Because we're just going to keep this on the screen until the market does close in a little bit. I'm going to check out GameStop. See, these are following the exact same patterns, basically. But the good news for AMC right now is that we did not see the short squeeze take place. We saw a lot of volume today, and still short sellers are not giving up. They are continuing to short, and if retail investors, if people from Wall Street Bets, all of us continue to hold on, well, they're going to lose. At some point, they're going to lose enough money where they have to cover their positions. It's going to have to happen. But let's look. 3 minutes until the market closes. We are looking like we're going to finish pretty significantly in the red today. But like if we look in the past, this has happened multiple times before. Like this is AMC's chart. We in January went up as high as $20. We had like 4 or 5 red days in a row. Then we started to stabilize. Another run up here, stabilize again, another run here. So we're not going to see it drop back down to that $8-10 per share range, but we could see it definitely drop down lower. It's going to be important to see what the data is after hours today, what's happened there. Looks like we are seeing a bit of a run up after hours. The thing to remember right now, the thing to remember is after hours, a lot of investors don't have the ability to buy and sell. What are your current thoughts on Cardano? Christian, we do have a video coming out on Cardano in a little bit. I have a video already planned. It's like scheduled to be posted in a couple of hours. So I really like Cardano. So you guys will see what's going on there. It'll be a pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that video because there's a lot of big announcements that came out with Cardano earlier today. From their founder, Charles Hoskinson, a couple of other people as well. Their new smart contracts testnet, which was just released, and a couple of other partnerships that they just announced within the last 48 hours. Let me know in the chat, though. Do you guys own AMC stock? I own AMC, but do you guys actually own AMC? Or are you just along for the ride, watching what's going on? Do you own STEM Inc.? STEM Inc. is one of my favorite stocks. Let me know. We're almost at 100 viewers. Oh, almost there. Market's going to close in about 1 hour. 1 minute. 1 minute. We have 1 minute till market closes. We are definitely going to finish in the red. Down 17% for the day right now. Workhorse is one of the only ones that has seen a short squeeze that is up today. Workhorse is up 28%. Seeing a big drop off right before the market closes. People are probably taking some profits. And market is just about to close. Market officially has closed now. So we finished down about 17.9% for the day. Not great. Not great. But keep in mind, we're going to have to wait and see this data to see what's come out here. Has the short interest increased, decreased? Are short sellers still betting against AMC? Have they not learned yet? Or are they giving in? Are they covering their positions? And I don't think they have, because we would have seen the stock price increase dramatically. But something just to keep an eye out on. We'll have to look at that. Christian Fernandez bought a few coins the other day. Definitely watched the Cardano video. Yeah, Cardano is one of my favorite cryptos right now, by far. Weasel's Way, you own. Justin Croman, is it true that the 18th is the next big expiration for the short calls? Yeah, I believe so. Chris Sad Lincoln, I own AMC. What's your price prediction during the squeeze? It's impossible to know exactly, because if it's all institutional banks sell at the same time, they all cover their positions, well, then that's going to be 150 million shares that are going to have to be covered. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money right there. Think, make decisions. Thank you for the comment. Thanks for watching. AFT Ticker on Twitter hasn't mentioned any big buys for AMC, so I think they're still holding. Yeah, Based on what I've read today, Lemore YT, it appears like everything going on right now with AMC is that short sellers are holding strong. They are not selling. I mean, they're not covering their positions. They're continuing just to hold. And like based on this article from Bloomberg earlier today, they said short sellers are doing opposite to what they did back in January. January, they lost a lot of money because they had to cover their positions. Some banks had to get like bailed out. Not banks, but investment banks had to get bailed out. And they're saying now we're not seeing that happen because even though AMC's price rose 100% yesterday, we saw the short interest actually increase. Also, I like this camera a lot better. We're going to use this camera from now on for lives. And I might just do more live streams from now on because I could get videos out to you guys a lot faster. So let me know, do you guys prefer, would you be okay if I did just more lives instead of the full edited videos? Because I can do all of the screen switches. Like I can go from a zoomed version to a standard version, back down to like this. I can do all the same things that I do in my normal videos. We're just not going to have as much of the effects and things, but I can get information out to you guys a lot faster. So let me know in the comments because I feel like this is pretty good. The lighting's good, much better to keep it this way and do more videos this way. But let me know what you guys would prefer because I rather do it this way because I can get more content out. But if you want more edited videos, I have to do it the other way. But like, there's so much more content I can cover. The problem is that like, if I'm doing a video on AMC and I want to talk about AMC and I have to edit it, it could take like, you know, a good amount of time. It could take me like an hour more to edit it. And in that time, there's other stuff going on that I do want to talk about. I'd prefer to do the lives. Clayton Emery live. Okay, cool. Cool. We'll do more lives then. Clayton, you're the only one that said it, so that's what we're doing. But yeah, if you guys are new here, make sure to like the stream. We are at 60 likes. Let's see if we get up to 100. Lemore YT, you like the live streams better for the community. Cool. 70-30 live, John T. Yeah, I will do more lives. Quick live is better. That makes sense, Justin Croman. Yeah. So yeah, for the lives, we'll do like quick news, breaking news, stuff like that. Deep dives into specific cryptos, like the one we're doing on Cardano later. That one I'll keep as just a planned out, little longer video. Not a longer video, but you know what I mean, like more edited and posted, not just in live version. I think that would be a little bit better. When do you think the squeeze will happen? Love the videos. Did you buy? Is Doge live on Coinbase yet? From what I have seen, let's take a look at Doge. I want to keep AMC on the screen, but let's take a look at Dogecoin really quickly. Right now, Dogecoin's price has dropped below the 40 cents per coin mark, which, you know, we don't like to see that, but it is what's happening. Like we said in the live stream earlier, I did a video on Dogecoin and I explained how right now with Dogecoin, what we're seeing is that people were expecting to see a massive rally, either up or down today, but we didn't see it. And that's because people were thinking that Dogecoin was going to be listed on Coinbase earlier this morning, but it wasn't. It was supposed to be listed at 12 p.m. From everything I've seen, they say that users now, some users can trade it. This is from 17 hours ago. Dogecoin searches after Coinbase says some users can trade it. Anything else going on? Regular platform. Like, the important thing is it's not on the regular platform yet. I haven't seen too much information come out yet. Let's look at Coinbase Pro on Twitter. What are they saying on Twitter? Because last time they made the announcement on Twitter, Coinbase Pro, Twitter. Here we go. Bottom right. They say our BTC Doge order books are now full trading mode. Okay, so they are in full trading mode. This was 3 hours ago. They posted this. How many times did they post this? 3 times. The order book will remain limited. Okay, everything's available now for Doge. Limit, market, stop orders, all available. They said right here. 3 hours ago. This is at 12:34 Eastern time. That's exactly when we said they would have that announced. So that's exciting. People are saying like, WTF, nothing is happening. It's just, you got to remember, a lot of people don't actually use Coinbase Pro platform. Like me personally, I just have the Coinbase app on my phone. And that's what I use. Like, so I like the platform that most people use, they can't buy and sell Dogecoin right now directly on the platform, like on their phone. So that's not going to be for about 2 weeks or so. And once we see Dogecoin listed on Coinbase, just the regular retail trading platform on the app, that's when I think we'll see the Coinbase effect actually happen. And I've mentioned this a lot, but I want to show you guys Coinbase effect. We've mentioned it so many times, but it's important to go over. It really is. Coinbase effect. We've talked about this a lot. 91% on average coins rise within 5 days after being listed on Coinbase. This isn't Coinbase Pro. This is on the regular Coinbase app. So everyone's talking about we should have seen a massive spike today. But in reality, most people, like, let me know in the comments. Do you guys use Doge? Coinbase Pro? Because I don't use Coinbase Pro. I just use Coinbase, the regular retail app. Let's look at the chat. I hope it's tomorrow. What would it be? Live chat is much better. Doge is spiking live for breaking news. Yeah. Right now, like, so yeah, let me know, because I don't use Coinbase Pro. I don't. I just use the regular app on my phone. It's much easier. Most of the investing I do is just on apps. Like, I do a lot on public investing, which I showed you guys. Like, make sure to follow me on that for sure. Like, if you guys want to know what, like, I hate this, and I talk about this a lot, but on YouTube, everyone talks about, what stocks they're buying, what coins they're buying, and they could show pictures, show screenshots, but the thing is most people on YouTube, it's like, do you know if they're being 100% transparent? I don't know if they are. Like, if I watch someone, I don't know if they're being 100% transparent. So what I would say is follow me on public, because the way it works is whatever stocks I buy directly in that platform, you're going to see my exact portfolio. You're not going to see the dollar amounts, but you'll see exactly what stocks I own. So yeah. You use Coinbase Pro when moving crypto from exchange to my private wallets. You use both. Yeah, but you would think, like a lot of people for Dogecoin, the regular average person, I would say, like my friends who I know who aren't into investing as much, they just download the app. They just use Coinbase app, and that's what they use. Like, I have Dogecoin actually on Webull. I have Dogecoin and Ethereum on Webull, which aren't really crypto apps, but I like that I can do everything on Webull, from crypto to stocks to everything like that. After hours, AMC is up 5%. Can't wait to see when this short interest comes out later, guys. This will be exciting. This will be really exciting. The volume for today was lower than yesterday, actually. 579 million shares. So it was less than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was over 760 million shares. That was crazy. Moving forward, though, it'll be pretty important to see what happens with that short interest later today. We can go back on. I'll do like a video like I did last night talking about that later. Short interest, what's going on there? You have 435,000 Dogecoin. That's pretty cool. That's really good. Well, that's worth almost what, $200,000? Maybe a little over 200,000. If you guys are new here, thanks for joining the stream. You don't know me. Well, YouTube did delete this channel a couple weeks ago. They deleted the channel entirely. So because I posted a video on Elon Musk and Dogecoin. So if you can, please be sure to like this video, because they don't push out my videos when I talk about meme stocks or meme coins. But I'm going to keep talking about them. It just would help if we could get them out to more people. People said our AMC shorted today. We have to check. Right now, the good news is with AMC is that you got to remember, everyone's thinking, oh, it's just going to only go up. It's just going to keep going. It's going to break $100 per share. Yes, I think it's very, very possible that AMC could break $100 per share within the next week. I think it is very possible. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with the short interest. We're going to have to wait and see with what data comes out later today. And hopefully AMC doesn't keep selling more shares, because they sold 11.5 million today, 11.5 million shares at the stock price, which was like $60. And if they keep doing that, well, that's not gonna be what retail investors want to see. Like, yes, we get it. They need to raise some money. They need money because the business is struggling. Even though things are opening up, the business is not in the best position. So I get it. But if we see them do this again, because on Tuesday, they sold 8.5 million shares to Mudrick Capital for about $230 million. They raised that. Then today, they raised another $600 million from selling shares. So that's almost $1 billion. If they do it again tomorrow, or they do it again at the beginning of next week, that just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because it's not a great sign for what we want to see right now with AMC. The best way to see it continue to rise, continue to do well, is going to see we just want to see AMC, their management, not do anything. Just relax. Don't sell any more shares. Because when they're selling a bunch of shares, and basically the CEO comes out in the SEC filing and says, look, guys, he said, look, be prepared to lose all your money if you invest in our stock. That's not a good thing to say. That's just not great. It's like saying, hey, guys, this is my company. Don't invest in it. Don't invest in it, because it's going to lose money. And you might lose your entire investment. That's just not what you want to say. I get it. He's trying to warn people. It's the smart thing to do. But if we want to see the price continue to rise up, we can't have everyone, retail investors, all you guys watching. It's everyone who is in AMC, they can't get scared and start selling their positions, because then it's going to continue to drop. Right now, we're in a good position. We have a very high short interest, 21%. We have a lot of retail investors behind it. Institutions are continuing to short it, so we have a good recipe to see the short squeeze happen. It's just the thing that's going to determine what's next is, are we going to see short interest continue to rise over the next couple of days? Is it going to drop? What's going to happen? So that'll be important to see. Someone says American Airlines virtual pilot. No, it wasn't. No, it's not. Read the Goldman filings. That's the date the document was drafted. The shares were in fact sold today, which was early. AMC is going to 0. AMC's not going to 0. It's like saying AMC's not going to 0, and not anytime soon. Any company could go to business. Amazon could go out of business. Is it going to? Not for a very long time. Everything comes to an end at some point. But I want to show you guys. So there's this article that came out the other day. Price prediction, 1 penny. I've talked about this in other videos. This analyst came out and said that his price prediction for AMC is 1 penny. I think this is pretty ridiculous, in my opinion. But basically he was saying that AMC's completely overvalued. 680 million shares were traded, he explained the other day. He said how retail investors basically are saying, look, we're holding this, we're not selling, but in reality they are. And the thing you got to remember is, yes, retail investors are selling. People are selling, because the only way you see 582 million shares, the volume, the only way you see that type of volume is every time someone buys a share, someone else is selling it. So there are people selling AMC, taking profit, but it's at the same time, obviously there's more buying pressure. There's more people buying it right now, because you wouldn't see the stock price going up. And right now we're seeing the stock price for AMC continue to rise. Yes, it did drop today significantly. It did. After hours, it's up 3%, but over the last week, it's more than doubled. So people who are saying, AMC right now, retail investors are not holding their positions. Retail investors are selling. Yeah, their retail investors are selling, but overwhelmingly, there are more people who are interested in buying AMC right now than selling it, because that's when the stock price is going up, and that's what we're seeing right now. Like, we are seeing overall that if we look at the last week, AMC's price has done extremely, extremely well. Like, if we look at the last week, for anyone who's saying AMC's crashing, it's over. First of all, the short squeeze has not happened yet because the short position is still really high. But if you're looking at the stock price and looking at what has happened over the last week, look at this. 5 days. 5 days were up 176%. So for anyone who's saying we're already crashing, like, look at this right here. At one point, we were at $33. We dropped down to $25. That's what is that? That's like a 33 to 25 is 30% drop, right? It's like a 20%, 25, 30% drop. Yeah, we saw a drop there. Again, today we saw we went from 64 down to 42. That's, another 30%, 40% drop. But we're not seeing it drop like a 90% in a day. Yeah, like, look at this chart right here. Back in January, we saw it will go from 19 down to 5. Then we saw it rally back up to 13. Then we saw it consolidate again. Every time we see a spike, we level off at a new high. We find a support at a higher price than we did before. Because here we were trading at $2. Then we spiked. Then we found a new support at around $5 per share. Then we had another rally up to 14. Then we found new support at $9. Every time we've seen this spike, every time, with any meme stock, any stock you look at, if you look at GameStop, the same thing happens. With all of these like meme stocks, all of these that are targeted by short sellers, every time we see a massive rally, like GameStop, 347, we see it then level off at a higher price than it was at previously. Before that run, we were at 18, 15, rally up to 347. Then we had a new price that we consolidated at was at 50. Then we rallied up to 260. Every time we see this, there's going to be that exponential growth at the beginning, followed off by, a correction and consolidation at a new price. It's what we see every single time. For those of you who are new here, make sure to like the video. Like I've said, YouTube, they deleted my entire channel by posting a video on Dogecoin and Elon Musk. So it seems like every time I talk about GameStop, AMC, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, any sort of meme stock or meme coin, they don't recommend my videos at all. So make sure to like it. Also, if you want to see what stocks I actually am buying and selling in real time, well, make sure to follow me on Public. Everyone on YouTube talks about, this stock is going to 5x, this stock is going to do extremely well. On this, you could see it's a Twitter, but for investing, you'll see exactly what stocks I own, not just what I'm talking about. You'll see the exact stocks I own. And they don't sponsor me. They don't pay me. They don't pay me at all. So, yes, if you use my link, you get a free stock, I get a free stock, but, you don't have to use my link. Just check out the app. It's really a great place to learn about what's going on in the markets, figure all that stuff out. Anyways, let's look at AMC. AMC, though, after hours is looking pretty good. It's up 3% after hours. BlackBerry's up 1.7% after hours. What other things? One stock in particular that does have a very, very high short interest that I've been hearing a lot of people talk about is actually Skills. We talked about this yesterday. I want to talk about it again. But Skills is a stock that, regardless of the short seller reports that have come out on it, is one of my favorite stocks out there. I own it you could see it in Public Investing. I own this stock. And right now, the short position for Skills is 26%, which is much higher than it is on for AMC. And also, I see that someone just, Jose, followed me on Public. Anyone who follows me, I'm going to follow you right back. So I'll make sure to do that. But for the thing to keep in mind is that Skills is another stock that's being targeted by short sellers, yet I think Skills has a lot of potential to do extremely well. It is one of my favorite stocks. So everyone's asking me in the chat, in previous videos, what stocks are set to have a short squeeze? What stocks are looking really good, to see that massive run up like AMC has had? You just got to look at which stocks have a high short interest. So like BlackBerry, Skills, Workhorse, AMC, GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, all of these. We also see stocks like COS, Nikola, what other ones? NanoX Imaging, Plug Power, all of these have very high short interests. And as we can see, not all of them are going to do as well as AMC and GameStop did right off the bat. But usually what happens is once we see the market caps of these stocks go up enough, then we start to see, okay, people are going to start turning away from, GameStop, even though it was the leader in the short squeeze, back in January, people have not been as excited about it. Everyone I see talking about these stocks, when you look at Google Trends, people are not as excited about GameStop as much anymore because you know what? Not everyone's able to buy a share for $258. Same with AMC. Now that we're getting up to $60 per share, it's not as exciting. People like to say, oh, it's $3 a share. I can buy, I could buy $50 worth. I could get 10 shares, or I could buy a couple $100 worth. If you, for GameStop on their hand, it's getting less exciting. And while it's, you can buy partial shares and things like that, it becomes like a mental game as well for a lot of these investors looking at which stock is going to be next for the short squeeze. So just something to keep in mind, because it is something that people don't always talk about, but it is important. AMC, though, is continuing to go up after hours. We're seeing it up 4%, 4.6%. It'll be interesting to see when we get that short interest, what's going on there. Let's look at the chat. Follow where? Mo, AMC. Okay, no. Follow me. What I'm saying is follow me on Public Investing. It's just like a Twitter, but for investing. So it's I post on it daily saying about what stocks I'm looking at for that day, what stocks I'm buying, and every time I buy a stock, it sends out a notification like a Twitter post. So make sure to follow me on that. It is one of my favorite ones, and when you follow me, I'm going to follow you guys back. So Craig Nesbitt just followed me, so I followed him back. Like I said, they're not paying me to talk about this. I genuinely like this stock. Please stop, Dylan. You're saying for me to please stop. Please stop what? Talking? You can leave. Link to Discord. I don't have a Discord. That's part of our Patreon group if you do want to join that. They haven't sold shares anyways. Jonathan Elliott. Let's look. What else is going on? Put in the chat any stocks that you guys want me to talk about. AMC does look pretty good right now. I want to pull something up. I keep forgetting what I want to do. AMC stock. There we go. AMC. But yeah, so everyone's talking about which one's going to be next, what's going on. The thing is AMC hasn't even had its short squeeze yet. So focusing on something new, something else is... Oh, here's an interesting article. Let's take a look at this. Okay. AMC looks less like a cult stock and more like an actual cult. And I think they're saying this also because of what happened earlier. AMC Connect. I think that's what it's called. AMC Connect. There we go. So they're saying this also because right now, when we're seeing AMC's stock price go up significantly, we've seen a couple of things happen. The first is that we saw AMC yesterday announce AMC Investor Connect, a plan that allows any investor to get free popcorn and certain perks. And this is because they're saying, they were able to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for the sole reason of us investors being in the stock. That's the reason. And now this article is explaining how even though this company doesn't have any bullish fundamentals, they're saying that it doesn't matter. It's like watching a sports game. People are betting and rooting for AMC no matter what. They're saying right here, if you're a fan watching a sports game, you can cheer your team, but you're not sure how much that really affects the team. Same with what's happening with AMC, they're saying. This is, it's true. When it comes to the stock market, you can feel like you're part of the community making this thing happen. That's the cool part. It gives you the feeling of being part of something, being part of a community, and that can be very addictive. And that's what they're talking about right now. Like people with AMC, look, AMC to the moon, buying AMC stock. Same with Dogecoin. We've seen this with all of these meme stocks. Someone buys into it, they're not leaving. They want to stay in it no matter what goes on. And that's what we're seeing right now. This is pretty funny, though. I did not see these tweets. Meme stonkers pumping their stock on the streets. AMC to the moon. This is from May 29th, so this isn't today. But pretty funny. Pretty funny that we're seeing this. Like, it's just like making a meme with Dogecoin. Everyone is pushing for Dogecoin no matter what happens. Jamaica Boom Beach, you're listening to old news. The report came out today. So the report came out today from AMC saying that the shares were officially sold today. So that's why we're talking about it. In addition to this, yesterday was when they raised money from Wedbush Capital. Diego just followed me. I followed you back on Public. Also, who else did? Orel. And make sure if you use the link, then you get like a free stock when you download it. Let's take a look. What's going on? We've turned into the red now for after hours. $50.81. But again, important thing is in about an hour or so, we're going to see all this information update. All this information update. AMC short interest. I always use Fintel. I like Fintel. Easy. There we go. Fintel. 21% short ratio. 162 million is the short volume. 764 million shares. That was yesterday's numbers. Today's numbers are 582 million. What else? See a couple questions in the chat about it was made public today, but that was sold in late April. I'm down 6K, not selling. Ape Strong. I mean, so you got to look at these things like, okay, I've done this before. Everyone makes this mistake. If you try to time the tops, the bottoms, if you're trying to time the market, you're going to get screwed. You're going to get screwed. My public profile, Jamaica Boom Beach, is just my name. There it is. It's just my name. Like, the thing is, if you're saying you're down, it's either you believe in AMC, you want to be part of the community, or you're not. Don't put in money that's going to, like, change. If you put in your whole entire checking account, you're going to, whatever, it's like all the money you have, that's not a smart thing to do. It's just not smart. But saying, okay, I have some extra money, I want to put some in, go for it. Like, if you want to be part of the community, you're either in or you're out. You can't be like half in, like, no, you're in or you're out of the community. That's what it is. Because you got to realize that what has happened is, for example, people who saw that recent, that people who owned it back in January. I'm pulling up an article because there were multiple corrections since then for AMC. And if you didn't hold on to it that entire time, well, then you lost money. The thing is people who got scared, people who didn't own it the entire time, they got scared. I can't find the article right now, but we'll just go back. I can't find the article right now, but the thing to remember is people who got into AMC at, let's say, $10 back in January. Then they sold off because the stock was going down. Then they got back in because the stock was going up. If you're bouncing around so much, it's a recipe for disaster. It really is. Like, if you're looking at the last 6 months, a lot of people bought in at $13 right here. And then what happened? Well, it went from 13 down to 6, down to 5. So people got out. People got scared. They sold. So, okay, they lost their money. They said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. But then we saw it go from 5 all the way up to 14. And then people are like, I want to buy back in. I don't want to miss out on this. They had FOMO. So then they bought back in, and then the same thing happened. It dropped down again. So the people who have held throughout this entire rally, like while it may not look like big fluctuations now, these are big fluctuations. This is from 19 down to 5. That's down like 70%. 70% loss. But the people who held that entire time now are up 5, 10x the amount they originally put in. If you're fluctuating and you're buying and then you're selling, that's where you run into issues. That's where you run into issues. Like, yes, am I saying just hold on to it forever? No. Like, everyone knows that the value right now of AMC is not tied to fundamentals. But like what all these articles are coming out and saying, it's like you're owning AMC right now to be part of the community and to try and make money on the short squeeze. Can you time it? No, it's impossible to time it perfectly. If you're in the profit, like if you're in the green, I always say you don't want to regret not selling and not taking some profit. Doesn't matter if we're talking about Dogecoin. Doesn't matter if we're talking about AMC. Doesn't matter what we're talking about. You don't want to be the person who was up a couple $100, a couple $1,000, or a couple $100,000, and then be like, look, I could have, made a 40% return, but I didn't sell. And you're just gonna be stuck holding the bag. You don't want to be that person stuck holding the bag, but if you want to be part of the movement, it's like you're either in or you're out. Like, am I saying to everyone just hold it? No, like you got to look and see what you want to do with your money. But me personally, it's like I have money that I'm okay with losing. It's not a lot. I've taken profits along the way. And do I think it could still double? Yeah, it could still double. Do I think it could drop 50% tomorrow? That's possible too. There's no way of knowing with these stocks. There's going to be huge fluctuations that no one can predict. Anyone who says otherwise, they're lying to you. There's no way to predict it. All we do know is that the short squeeze has not happened. Short interest is still very high. We know that. Do we know if retail investors are going to lose confidence in this, want to move somewhere else? We don't know. Do we know if short sellers are going to cover? We don't know that. All we can look at is the data. The data shows us right now, short volume ratio is 21%. This is from yesterday. The short volume was 162 million. We know that the trading volume for today was 582 million. So that's what we know. And based off of that, we have to make a decision. Do we want to add more to our position? Do we want to sell? What do we want to do? And in my mind, it's like, okay, you've made money. I always take profits. Take profits and diversify. That's what I like to do. Other people might say that's stupid, but in my mind, I don't think it's stupid. Alex Goji, you're saying, what do you mean by short squeeze? Everyone's asking the question, what is happening with the short squeeze? What is the short squeeze? The short squeeze is essentially when all the short sellers who have shorted a stock are losing billions of dollars. They have to cover their positions, which means essentially when they're shorting it, they're betting the stock is going to go down. And if it doesn't go down, every dollar it goes up, they're losing more and more money. So what happens is essentially they have to cover their positions. And when they cover it, well, that's what's going to cause the price to go up. That's what everyone's calling, the short squeeze. That's what it's called. And right now, short sellers have not covered their positions. We still have a very high short interest. That's what we're seeing. So everyone says, has a short squeeze happened? The answer is no. The answer is no. It's pretty simple. Right, that's Musky Doge. You're saying it's not stupid when you see the big picture. It's a movement. Yeah, it is completely a movement. Same with Dogecoin. Same with AMC. It's not stupid to hold on to it. But let's say for someone who owns, let's say someone put in $50,000 at $3. Let's say someone put in $50,000 into AMC and they've 5x their money. What hurts to take out the initial investment? Doesn't hurt. Because then you're just playing with house money. It doesn't matter. That's how I see it. Am I right? It doesn't mean I'm right. That's just what I would do. I don't like to have too much money. Me personally, I don't like to have too much money in one thing. If you go then you spend all day worrying about something, worrying about a stock, worrying about something, and it makes your stomach turn when it goes down. If you have like money, you're just playing with house money. If you made, let's say you've doubled it, you took your initial investment out, then you're like, hey, I'm going to stay in this forever. I'm holding on to AMC. I'm holding on to GameStop forever. I don't care what happens. Yeah. Yes, now the timing short sale can overcome the upward. And guys, those of you who are new here, make sure to like the stream. We're at 166 likes. Let's see if we could get it to 250. YouTube doesn't like to promote my videos on AMC, Dogecoin, any meme stocks or meme coins, because I did a video on Dogecoin and then they just deleted my entire channel. So if you can, please be sure to like the video. Helps out a lot. And couple of other things we want to go over before we get into other stocks that people are asking questions about. One of them is with right now, people are asking about GameStop. What's going on with GameStop? Why are we seeing GameStop not seeing as much of an increase as AMC? And you got to remember right now, first of all, AMC and GameStop have pretty similar market caps. People say in the chat, oh, it doesn't matter, the market cap doesn't matter. But right now, the market caps right now are right around $25 billion. Where is it? Market cap, $23 billion for AMC. And people say this doesn't matter at all when we're talking about a short squeeze. And you just got to remember, like, it's not the most important thing, but it does impact what's going on. Because to say that the market cap doesn't matter at all with a short squeeze is ridiculous, because it still matters. What I'm saying is that BlackBerry right now has a market cap that is so much lower than AMC, than GameStop. It's at $9 billion. It's about half. So it takes that. It's a lot less money to influence the stock. Like to get BlackBerry stock to double, whether you're talking about short sellers, whether you're talking about people buying it, you need $9 billion. If you're talking about GameStop or AMC, right now it takes $23 billion for it to double. And when you're starting to say, like, I've seen people talk about AMC going to thousands of dollars per share. People said $100,000 per share. And, you know, I've seen on Reddit, I've seen a lot of people talking about it. It's not going to go to $100,000 per share. That is just it's just ridiculous. Can it go to 200? Yeah, I could go to 200. Can it go higher than that? It's possible. But saying like 100,000, you got to take into account the market cap of these things. Also, what about Workhorse? Someone says Workhorse. Yeah, Workhorse is one of my favorites. Market cap of only $1.82 billion. That's why, like, for example, today, not the only reason, but today Workhorse was one of the only stocks that was in this rally yesterday, today, this whole week, that was in the green. And it was in the green because it was in like 28% increase today. So everyone's asking, you know, why is Workhorse up when all the other ones are down? First of all, Workhorse is a company that it's in a very rapidly growing industry, but also besides that, the market cap's only $1.5 billion for Workhorse. The short interest is higher. The short volume ratio is higher for Workhorse than it is for AMC or for GameStop. So for those reasons, it's much easier to influence the price of this. This is like talking about AMC when it was at $3 per share. This is like talking about GameStop when it was at $10 per share. If you're talking about market cap. Because right now, if you're looking at market cap, AMC's at $23 billion. So when it was at $3 billion, it was 7 times less than it is now. So we're talking like $6 per share. Workhorse's price, if you're looking at market cap, Workhorse would be the same right now as when AMC was around $5 or $6. Is the same thing going to happen? There's no way of knowing 100%. But that is what's going on. People are asking about Shiba Inu in the chat. Just quickly, Shiba Inu, there is a petition on change.org to have Shiba Inu listed on Robinhood. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. Not anytime soon, at least. If it did, Shiba Inu's price would do extremely, extremely well. For those of you who are new here, make sure to like the stream. And if you want to see stocks that I'm buying and selling in real time, make sure to follow me on Public Investing app. It's just like a Twitter. I don't really use Twitter too much, but I use Public Investing. Anyone else feel agitated that the stock went down today? Yeah, it was annoying that AMC went down today. But like I said, you're not going to see 10 days in a row where it jumps 50%. We saw already, like looking at this chart, these are the daily charts. We really saw 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a red day, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost the entire 7 days where every single day was in the green. And that brought us from $12 up to $72 at the high pre-market today. Yeah, American Airlines, Virtual, and no. Both of you guys are saying that you like AMC, like you don't necessarily own a lot of it, but you like following it. And that's exactly what this article from Bloomberg is talking about. This article from Bloomberg is saying it's just like a fan watching a sports game. You can cheer for your team. You might not even live in the state, but it's like a community that you feel a part of, and you feel like you're actually contributing and making something happen. That's what they're talking about with AMC. And that's why we're seeing people holding signs on the side of the road saying AMC to the moon. Someone said, joined AMC cult at $40.35. Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff, though. What's my thoughts on SNDL? Not financial advice. Again, SNDL is in the same sort of position as all these other ones that are seeing the short squeeze. They have high short interest. Can they go higher? Yes, very possible. It's all going to be what's happening with short sellers. Are they going to cover their positions? What's going to happen there? Ricardo, it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool following what's going on with this. Let's see if we can get this to 500 viewers. We got above 500 at one point, but let me know in the comments. I want to see how many of you actually own AMC. Do you own AMC? I've seen a couple of you guys. You guys said a couple of you guys said you don't own it. You like following the movement, but how many of you guys actually are invested and own it? Like even if it's just $1 and you have a partial share, let me know. Do you guys actually own it? Daniel McDonald, I didn't ignore your questions about BlackBerry. We went over BlackBerry. Daniel. BlackBerry's in the same position. We talked about it. BlackBerry right now has market cap of $8.99 billion. We looked at the charts for it. Today it was up 4%. It was up more, like all the other ones were down. We talked about how the short interest right now, let's take a look at it. Short interest for BlackBerry. BlackBerry. Pulling it up for you guys. Here we go. Same thing. All of these are almost identical when you're looking at the numbers. All of them have about a 20 to 25% short volume ratio. And all of them have continued to see their short interest increase over the last couple of days. It's the exact same, 21% for BlackBerry, AMC, 21%. If I didn't just tell you I refreshed the page and switch pages, you would have thought it was the same thing, but it's not. This one is AMC, see AMC. This one is BlackBerry. They look nearly identical, both 21%, but they are different. Like you could see the short volume for AMC is at 162 million shares. BlackBerry's at 73 million. You just got to look, the same things are happening. But in my opinion, I don't think the community behind BlackBerry is nearly as strong as it is with AMC. Like the community with BlackBerry, the community with Workhorse, the community behind all of these, what does it say? Daniel M. You said 4 new whistleblower filings with SEC today could be interesting. Yeah, we'll look into that later. But yeah, you guys got to remember with these, like with Dogecoin, with AMC, They wouldn't be anything without the community behind them. Like, it doesn't matter. There are hundreds of stocks that are constantly being shorted. Hundreds of them that are constantly being shorted. So to say that, BlackBerry is going to do better than AMC, like Shiba Inu is going to do better than Dogecoin, the reality is the community behind Dogecoin is much stronger than the community behind Shiba Inu. The community behind AMC is much stronger than the community behind AMC. Yes, people want to make money on any of them, but if you're going to ask someone who's invested in AMC, are you going to switch over to BlackBerry? They're going to be like, no, like, I'm in AMC. I'm staying in AMC. And that's the reason, like, you got to look at the communities behind these things. No, I didn't forget about synthetic shares. People are talking about synthetic shares because essentially what they're saying is a lot of times these institutions are shorting more shares than are actually even available. Like, for example, GameStop at one point had over a 100% short interest at one point, which means that shouldn't even be possible. It was saying that let's say there's like 100 shares available. It's saying, well, they're shorting 150 shares. How is that possible? Like, this is just an example, but that's what was happening. And people are saying, now there's other arguments with the synthetic shares, things going on there, but just interesting to keep in mind because it does happen a lot. And the reason why I think AMC is doing well, the reason why I think AMC will perform better than all these other stocks is because BlackBerry, Workhorse, Sundial, their communities are just not as strong. People don't care about them. They don't feel as invested in them as they do with other stocks. Yeah, so GameStop had much less shares. Yeah, you're right. Who is it? I'm trying to look at your guys' looking through the chat real quick. Just buy them both. It's all to do with options. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with options. If you guys are new here, this morning I posted on Public about AMC. So make sure to check that out. Follow me on Public. I keep saying it, but they don't sponsor me. But I'm just saying it because it's free to follow me. It's free to download it. And I love the app. So I'm not like telling you guys to pay for Patreon. Everyone else talks about Patreon. I do have a Patreon, but this is just free, and you can still see what stocks I own. I actually... I'm just looking at the chat right now. Bob, Maddie's, hey, what's up with this Bob in the yeah, I bought it. Where do you think BlackBerry will go? BlackBerry, the same thing. We have to wait and see the short interest on all of these stocks. If we're looking at BlackBerry, let's look at the one-day chart. The thing is, BlackBerry has not even reached the highs that it reached back in January. In January, it was at $53 per share. When we're looking at AMC, for example, it has absolutely crushed the highs we saw back in January. This is the high back in January. But anyways, I think I'm going to head out. Got a couple of meetings planned. We'll jump back on here later today, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, this live stream, and I'll see you guys a little bit later.